Tonight on CTV, a Fort Collins man was arrested for child sexual misconduct.
And see how El Centro is celebrating Latinx Heritage Month.
All that and more on CTV starting right now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Ren Wadsworth.
And I'm Robbie Patla. Thank you for joining us tonight. Last week we informed you over the wildfire occurring just southwest of Fort Collins. It is now 50% contained compared to being only 25% suppressed last week. Residents can now return to their homes as the voluntary evacuations have been lifted. There is no new growth of the fire with the help of Poudre Fire Authority working tirelessly into the night and last night's precipitation.
A student-led peaceful protest marched through Colorado State University's campus asking the administrators for change.
When do we want it? Now!
Over 100 students met on the Free Speech Plaza at Colorado State University to peacefully protest the college's administration. The group, called Call Out CSU, is challenging the school's stance and treatment of free speech on campus. And head speaker for the event, Ty Smith, believes there needs to be a change.
There's been a lot of bias and homophobia and racism, etc. on campus, and so we kind of created it as a way of creating awareness for other groups that may not understand what we're going through as a community.
Together, students and staff took to the streets of Colorado State. As they walked from the symbolic plaza to their ending point of the administration building, Call Out CSU supporters screamed exactly what they felt.
It's unkind, unnecessary, and it's childish and has no place on this campus.
The group aims to set up more protection for LGBTQ+ and trans communities, as well as minority groups on campus who may be negatively impacted by hate speech.
I think as a community we all definitely have to kind of stay together to create this better, brighter, and more inclusive campus.
With this first demonstration, Call Out CSU is marching towards a more inclusive campus here at Colorado State University.
CSU President Joyce McConnell also met with the group prior to the Call Out CSU event. McConnell then posted on Instagram, quote, "It was wonderful to meet with the Pride Center staff and CSU student leaders today before they marched," end quote. Additionally, President McConnell continued by saying that she was proud students spoke out against hate on campus. The Call Out CSU has several changes they ask the university to implement within the coming years.
As if the internet wasn't safe enough, now Fort Collins police are encouraging residents to be even more aware. This warning comes after a Fort Collins man was arrested on suspicion of attempting to initiate sex with a minor over social media. 47-year-old Christopher Patterson was caught sharing explicit photos and discussing drug use with an undercover officer posing as a 13-year-old girl. Police are concerned Patterson may have contacted other underage girls and is asking for the public's help to find any potential victims. Right now, Patterson is charged with 3 felonies, including internet sexual exploitation of a child, internet luring of a child, and enticement of a child. If anyone has any information about Patterson, they are encouraged to contact the Crime Stoppers of Larimer County at 970-221-6868. Patterson is said to make his first appearance on court in September 23rd.
Coronavirus vaccine doubters may seek alternatives to fight the virus. One of these methods is to take ivermectin, which is typically marketed as an over-the-counter animal medicine. In recent years, however, the medicine has been used to fight parasites in both humans and animals. A professor at Colorado State University has been studying the supplemental drug for nearly a decade and its effect on malaria in humans and animals. Professor Brian Foy says, quote, "There is no evidence that ivermectin has evolved to target a virus," end quote. Foy goes on to explain that given the lack of evidence of the medicine against coronavirus, he urges doctors away from prescribing the drug to treat and combat the virus.
Do you remember that this 21st night of September, we have Michelle Ellis on weather right after the break. Welcome back from the break, Rams.
Colorado State University professor Temple Grandin is being honored for her dedication and perseverance with a bronze statue. Grandin is a world-renowned animal behaviorist and autism activist who has been in the meatpacking industry since the early 70s. Despite the lack of internships and opportunities for women in the field, Grandin innovated her way to the top through decades of dedication. But Grandin isn't the only one making an impact. Her very own statue will be the first figure on Colorado State University's campus that depicts a woman. After nearly a decade worth of work, sculptor David Anderson's art is on display at the JBS Global Food Innovation Center within CSU's Animal Science Building. Now we'll head over to Gavin Wolf live in studio to tell us about one of City Park's annual events. Gavin?
Thanks, Ren. The streetcar in City Park is a rather unknown stop here in Fort Collins, but for many, it's an essential part of the community. It's even more important for a place for the select few who enjoy it. Jeannie Berger is a volunteer worker here at the Fort Collins Municipal Railway. She has been volunteering on the weekends for the past 11 years. She and her husband Jim take turns working as both conductors and depot agents for the streetcar. Jeannie says that the trolley is great for all ages.
It's a nice way to, just see your neighbors and I think Fort Collins is so great.
Jeannie is not the only one with a long history at the railway. The trolley is over 100 years old, and when the line was built in 1907, it made Fort Collins the smallest city in the United States to operate a railway service. Back in the day, tickets were only 5 cents, and people used the trolley for everything. It was even used as a pseudo-daycare by mothers who would often leave their children on for hours at a time. But nowadays, tickets cost $2. You can take the trolley from City Park all the way down Mountain Ave to the final stop at House Street. But there are 2 other stops along the way. Even 100 years later, the trolley is an important part of the Fort Collins community, especially for one grandfather and grandson. Addie and Bob Giannoni haven't missed a weekend in 4 months. They are so dedicated to the trolley that they have even ridden it to the end of the line. Not only does Bob love the experience, but the value it offers to everyone.
It's a real asset and treasure for the community because we've seen so many people long before we started riding.
And these 2 aren't the only ones who love the experience. People pack the train every weekend. If you're hoping to ride this piece of history, you may want to hurry. This weekend is the last week to get on board before the trolley closes for the winter. Back to you, Ren.
Thanks, Gavin. If you visit the historical streetcar event in City Park, you may notice the colorful fall leaves. Last year, Colorado saw record-breaking wildfires, and with fall creeping around the corner, how have the fires impacted the changing leaves? Aspens, which are known for their yellow leaves that amber in the fall, are not only resilient in wildfires, but thrive because of them. Aspens sprout and burn scars due to the removal of competition, and because of this, Department of Forest and Rangeland Stewardship speculate that not only will we still see those changing colors, but that we can expect a huge upgrowth of aspens in the near future. The Coloradoan created a compilation of the best drives in Colorado to see the fall trees this year. It included Kepler Pass Road, which is described as, quote, the quintessential Colorado aspen drive that takes you through a tunnel of aspen with golden leaves carpeting the road.
College is more than just passing your classes and getting that degree. It's about community building, which is exactly what Year 2 at CSU students were up to this past weekend. 4,000 feet above the beautiful IM fields of the CSU campus, nestled in the canyons, tucked behind the mountains, and hidden within the meadows lies the CSU Mountain Campus. This was the destination for a weekend retreat that dealt with community building, mental health awareness, and fun festivities which the students of the Year 2 at CSU community eagerly partook in. These students feel like they did not get enough of the traditional college experience, which is why they decided to participate.
Like last year, I still had a really great time. I met a lot of awesome people and I appreciated it. But I feel like I didn't get the real first year experience or the real experience in the dorms. So I really wanted that, and I thought Year 2 was a great opportunity, and I read about it and the activities they did, and that sounds like all stuff that's up my alley, so I'm really glad I decided to join.
Activities for the weekend included a hike to Cirque Meadows, where students got to bask in the glory of the outdoors while reminiscing last year and looking toward the future.
I have so much respect for all of you for sticking to it and getting through it, and I can't imagine, especially the social aspect, it sounds like was really, really difficult.
You know, I'm jumping on every opportunity, but now I feel like there are a lot more opportunities out there in the first place. So I'm really enjoying this year with you guys.
Following their excursion of optimism, they trekked back down the mountain for a self-reflection activity which helped them learn a lot more about each other.
I felt like I really missed out on a lot of things I was excited about last year. I feel like we've done a really good job so far of bonding pretty quickly.
It just feels like everything is so much more together than last year where everything was just kind of spaced out.
An evening of bonding was accompanied by a night of scary stories around a campfire. The next morning, it was time for the main event, the ropes course.
Are y'all excited?
Yeah! Friendly competitions, team building exercises, and many steep heights made up a day full of laughter, support, and fun. Once the weekend came to a close, the students felt closer with their peers, very optimistic about the future, and full of smiles, making the mountain retreat an unforgettable weekend.
This mountain retreat has been a great time to get to know them better, and it's also just really nice to be on campus and see the people I have classes with. I am very similar to a lot of the people on my floor, right? And I like all the people on my floor, and then also that I just want to do more of these things.
So classes are definitely ramping up, so I'm hoping the rest of the year will go smoothly and we can all continue to support each other in like academic endeavors and everything else. And then I just really want to see this group become closer. I think we have like a really good platform now based on this, and I think we can have a really fun year together.
Hey, great job, everyone.
This was my first experience at the mountain campus, and I believe it was the perfect way to help promote community building. I can only hope that this group of individuals continues to grow and acts as proof that no one is ever truly alone at CSU.
The first ever recipient of the Friedman Feminist Press Collection Grant has been awarded to Colorado State University alum Kiana M. Middleton. The grant was established in early 2013, but no one has been named for the honor until now. Researchers are chosen based on their work and how greatly it would be impacted by access to the Friedman Feminist Press Collection, stored in Colorado State University's library. The collection provides access to limited and hard-to-find primary resources in women's studies, political science, and history. Middleton's work focuses on Black feminism, feminist science, and disability studies. Through the grant, Kiana Middleton has now access to the largest collection of feminist press-published books in the Rocky Mountain West region. That's all the news we have for you tonight, Rams.
But don't go anywhere, because Brandon Cruz is up next to let you know what we have to expect when CSU takes on Iowa this weekend.